Welcome guys to the second episode.
Welcome to Isang Buhay,
Yes sir.
episode 2.
Episode 2. So sana nag-enjoy kayo sa first episode natin.
Yeah.
No? And thank you so much for watching if you've been watching. So thank you so much for that. Right? So let's talk about money. Pacquiao.
Money.
Yan. So
Yeah.
suntukan. Money.
M-O-N-E-Y.
M-O-N-E-Y.
Yeah.
Money. Let's talk about money.
Okay.
May ka bang fun facts sa akin about money?
Fun facts about money. Ang money actually, ang Tagalog nun is pera.
Oh,
Yeah.
mayroon ako fun fact sa'yo. Alam ba sa Bible na it's mentioned? Google nyo na lang Like, correct me if I'm
exact,
wrong. Parang there are more than 2,000 Bible verses daw, Brad, about money.
2,000.
2,000. Mas madami pa kaysa sa bank account ko.
Pero kasi nga, totoo siya, di ba? Yung mga authors ng Bible, sobrang picky sila Saka delicate sila kung ano yung ilalagay sa Bible If hindi siya importante,
hindi siya
ilalagay.
I mean, like, for a centuries old book, right? Even if you remove the religious aspect of it, like, we could say that ever since the start of humanity, money is an important thing in our life.
Sobra.
Right? Pero hindi siya yung end all be all. It's just important, and we're just gonna cover that aspect.
Right.
That's why we're gonna be talking about money.
Yeah.
Right? So
Like
yun.
yung for the first episode, pinag-usapan natin yung paano tayo namulat, 'di ba? Sa financial market,
Yes,
'di ba? Yung mga ganon, through the books.
Yes.
Ganon yan. Talagang let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about money. Parang sa iba, bakit importante yung knowledge about money?
Well, siguro money in general.
Okay.
Right? Money in general for me is important. It's because number one, you cannot do anything pag wala kang pera. Right? You cannot eat, you cannot live, you cannot do anything because it's what makes the world go round, right?
Alam mo yung simpleng example nga nang wala kang magagawa pag wala kang pera. Kapag kayong pamasahe, 12 pesos, tapos kinulang ka ng piso.
Diba?
Hindi ka na makakapag-jeep
Meron nga ako nakita na bagong meme, bagong vocabulary. It's called paralyzed, bro.
Paralyzed.
Wala kang magawa kasi wala kang pera. Di ba? So, I mean, like, money, number one, it allows you to do things.
Yeah.
Number two, money is a tool. Right? You can either be good or you can be bad with money. Right? So, ikaw, how about you?
Sa akin kasi, yung parents ko are really generous people. Diba? Alam kong binibigay nila 101% ng lahat para sa akin. So, natuto akong maging generous sa kanila.
Okay.
And for me, gusto kong maging generous sa maraming tao.
Okay.
Diba? And I can't do that without money.
Without money. Tama
diba?
naman.
Parang sa... I can't give what I don't have.
Yes,
diba?
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's money, and that's it. Hindi. So the reason why we want to talk to this again is because we want to, like, set the foundation na this isang buhay, that in your one life, like, money is essential in order to live your max potential in money.
Yeah.
In life, right? Is you need to know money and the important things about it, and hopefully in this episode we get to talk about those things, right?
And siguro you can live life without money. May mga monks ganun pero 99% of the people,
especially the fact that you're watching this, we all need money.
Kailangan natin ng pera. Hindi mo papanood kung wala kang wifi na binayaran ng pera.
And I think, it's important that we talk about it. It's because I noticed that and na-notice ko lang siya nung medyo tumatanda na ako, that it's very rare, I don't know in your household, but at least in my household, in the Filipino household, that we talk about money.
Right.
Diba? Kami I think napag-usapan lang namin siya when I started bring it up.
Kapag tinatanong mo.
Pag tinatanong siya, right? But you don't necessarily talk about it.
Yeah.
Parang siya naging taboo sa Philippine culture. I don't know why.
Or napag-uusapan lang siya kapag bayaran na.
Oy, yun. I think
ang mahal lang ganito, ang ganyan. Pero yung making it expanding it,
Yes.
hindi na pag-uusapan masyado. Right.
I think, yun yung hindi ko magets, Brad. And I know there are good reasons naman about it.
Right.
Is, why is it such a big deal that people don't say how much they make? Di ba?
Oo nga. Lahat naging golden rule yun sa lalaki.
Parang pag tinanong, parang dapat hindi mo tinatanong yung, parang delikadesa siya na dapat hindi mo tinatanong kung magkano yung kinikita ko. Pero di ba dapat,
siya.
kung tinatanong mo nga yung grades ko, di ba? Parang, anong thoughts mo doon? Dapat ba alam mo yung kinikita ng mga, or at least alam mo yung kinikita ng mga close friends mo?
Para sa akin, close circle.
Okay.
Yes. Pero syempre, kung random person, bagong kaklase mo lang, tatanungin mo agad, magkano kinikita mo? Syempre, hindi.
Yeah.
Pero lalo na if parents mo,
yes,
important na alam ng bata kung magkano eh.
Yeah.
Kasi kahit papaano, sa isip nila, magigets nila na ito yung kinikita ng dad ko, ng mom ko, as ito yung ginagastos ko. Di ba kahit paano, bata ka pa lang, magigets mo na
that's good.
Kaya pala sinasabi niya mahal.
Yeah.
Di ba? Parang gano'n.
Para alam mo yung context ng yung pera, at least alam mo yung na-rationalize mo yung...
So may gusto kang toy. Tapos tinanong mo parents mo na, pwede ba natin bilhin to? Ay, hindi, mahal. Hindi mo magets, mahal. Pero kung alam mo, yung pinanggalingan ng money niya, magkano yung pera na yun, tapos malalaman mo kung magkano yung toy na yun, magigets mo ngayon.
Yeah.
At an early age. Yeah.
Ako feeling ko na if you ask, right, dapat you should somehow like be open with the range. Kahit range man lang. Para at least, yun nga, like what you said.
In terms of digits.
Because you cannot remove expectations of people. And at least that gives them an idea of your financial capacity. Right? I mean, if ayaw sabihin, then okay, wala namang masama dun. But I guess like where I'm coming from is parang lang siya naging, yun yung nafe-feel ko na parang every time you just bring up how much you earn, it's like, there's parang nagbabago yung atmosphere ng room.
Parang yabang naman ito. Ganun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, sa'yo.
Sa akin.
Merong recent na balita. And it's about the Silicon Valley Bank.
Banking.
Diba?
Bangko.
And nag-collapse siya.
Okay.
So, syempre, daming tao na parang, paano mag-collapse yung bank?
Yeah.
So, ikaw, ano thoughts mo doon?
That's a good question. Kasi, guys, if you don't know what happened, SVB, yung Silicon Valley Bank, it's a bank in the United States. It's I think, if I'm not mistaken, the 14th largest bank in the United States. Right? So that's a good question. Ba't nga ba nagko-collapse yung banks? Hindi ba dapat safe sila in the first place? Bakit nagpa-file for bankruptcy ang isang bangko? You need to understand that our banking system is what we call a fractionalized reserve banking system. So what does that mean? Right? Tayo is kaya may bangko. Ba't tayo naglalagay ng pera sa bangko? It's for it to be safe. Right? For example, meron akong 10,000 pesos in my savings.
Right.
Then ikaw, bangko ka. I put it to you. Right? I deposit my money to you. Then yung 10,000 na yun, you keep it safe. Right? So you have 10,000 pesos. Right? So what does that mean? As a bank, you have 10,000 pesos. So as a bank, you can have the luxury of using that deposited funds.
Kasi hindi mo naman pagkagamitin yun eh.
Yes.
Diba? Kaya mo nga pinatago sa akin eh.
So for example, sa 10,000 na yun, you use 8,000 pesos.
Right.
And then the remaining 2,000, you use it for what we call liquidity or yung available cash mo sa bangko. Kaya siya nagiging fractionalized reserve banking is because you're reserving a fraction of the depositor's money.
So saan napupunta yun? Yung ine-invest nila ba yun? Or
yung alin?
Yung pera. Once na nilagay mo sa bank yun, saan nila nilalagay yung pera?
Right. So usually those things are invested in the stock market, in the bond market, in other businesses. They use it to provide credit sa ibang bangko. Di ba yung credit card? Na yun? So, yung cash mo doon na ginamit is used to cover those those purchases of credit. And then from there, parang kaya ka may interest from your credit card is so that you can pay back the bank na yun yung ginamit muna.
Right. So, bakit importante na gets natin yung ginagawa ng bank?
Right? It's because the reason why that's important to know is sometimes meron kasi mga banking principles that we can apply to our life.
Okay.
Now, for example, if you know the concept dito kasi, meron kasi tayong notion in the well, I don't know. No, I think growing up,
Right.
the Philippines, pag nangutang ka, masama.
Oo.
Kasi pag narinig mo lang, may utang yung taong yun. Right? But we need to understand that there is good debt and bad debt. Right? For example, alam ba pag may credit card ka? At pag may credit card ka, bumili ka ng something. Let's say, bumili ka ng bagong phone.
Okay.
Right? And right now, gamit natin, pang record, it's just a phone.
Oh.
Right? So sometimes, akala natin if we just buy a phone, ginamit natin yung credit card, akala natin parang, pang ano lang siya. Ano yun? Pang entertainment. Or ano yung term na hinanap ko? Kasi pang entertainment, right?
Pang leisure.
Pang leisure, exactly. So, pang leisure lang, right? But, if you use a credit card and let's say you pay it for 24 months, let's say naka-buy now, pay later ka pa, so lumalabas, let's say 27 months to pay mo yon, yung first 3 months is free, then basically, you could use that phone for productive things. Like maybe shooting this video, right? Pang negosyo mo, right? So, that credit, it allows you to do things or it allows you to buy time. What
Leverage.
I'm trying to say. Yeah, leverage siya. That's important kasi in life, ano ba yung important sa atin na resource? Money and time. Right? So if you have a credit, if you understand banking, you could understand and know how you can use money to buy you more time and more resources.
Right.
Effectively. Kasi for example, tapos magbabayad ka pa. Pag magbayad ka ng credit card, after 30 days mo pa babayaran. So you have that leeway to produce money.
That money.
Yes.
Lalo na kung yung binabayaran mong monthly is mas maliit dun sa kinikita nung binabayaran mo.
For example, you get a laptop, right? You buy a laptop and then let's say monthly mo is 5,000 pero you earn 10,000 from that laptop. Basically, it's diba?
It's free.
It's an asset.
It's earning.
Yes, it's an asset. You're earning something from it.
Ang bad debt is kapag kunwari umutang ka para bumili ka ng sapatos na hindi mo naman kailangan.
Yes, exactly.
Para lang magmukha kang
may
pogi.
sale. Bilhin ko na to. Tapos yung bad debt pa dyan is you're paying your credit, you're using your credit card, pero you're only paying the minimum. Yan ang wag nyo gagawin, guys. Right? So when you have a credit card, pay it in full. Because the interest on your credit card, grabe yan. Mamamatay ka dun. It compounds. Diba?
Okay.
So, we need to understand these things because these things are not, again, we're not dissing school, but they're not teaching it. Right?
And kami, hindi naman tayo financial experts eh.
Right.
Normal average Joes tayo eh.
Exactly.
Na natuto lang din. Parang ganun. Parang kanina lang may nag-usap kami ni Pael, may natutunan akong bago about financial market. Parang ganun. So, that's why it's really important to talk about it. Diba? Na hindi mo kailangan magka-PhD dyan para magets mo siya. Right? So we're trying to talk about it for them and for us then to understand the basics of it, diba? So sa'yo,
alam mo, Brad, just
okay.
Before we go, to the next thing, right? I mean, like na-realize ko lang when you were saying that na bakit kaya in our life, in our society, we don't usually talk about the important things with our close people, with our close friends. Or like, hindi siya normalize.
Right.
It's once in a blue moon.
Right.
What I'm trying to say? For example, may mga classmates ka. Right? Or yung mga, let's say, blockmates mo na lang.
Okay.
Right? So, parang, do you talk about yung mga these things? Banking. Do you talk about, let's say, money? Right, it's important. Do you talk about your health? It's important. Parang do you talk about your faith?
No.
Right? You talk about what's happening with your family. But these are the things that affect us dearly.
The most important
things. Pero parang, that's why, guys, we're trying to do this, is we're trying to normalize that conversation. The hard conversation. It's not hard eh. We're just used to talking about the easy stuff.
Right.
Right? Parang 100 push-ups is hard if you're not doing 10 push-ups. But if you're used to doing 500 push-ups, ang dali lang ng 100
wala
push-ups.
Yun. Basic yun.
Right? So,
yeah, and also, important din talaga siya in a way na pagka meron ka kasing inaaral, 'di ba, na sa una hindi mo siya magigets eh.
Yeah.
Right? But if you continuously talk about it with your close friends, kahit kung lahat kayo confused, 'di ba? Pero after some time, may isa sa inyo sigurong mas magigets, matuturo ng isa. Hanggat sa lahat kayo,
alam na, may same level, right? Nasa same level. Ikaw ba, how do you manage your money?
So I earn 100%.
Yeah.
Spend it all.
Ako, me naman, I
Joke
earn 100%. I take a loan, I take a credit, and then use that 200% to buy shoes, watches.
Non-important things.
Not important things, bro. Used to movies, you know.
Well, ako, sa akin...
Guys, joke yun,
joke. Baka i-edit nyo yung clip na to, tapos...
baka ipakita lang natin, bagong podcast.
Pangit ito tinuturo. Di ba, if naalala nyo sa first episode, pinag-usapan natin yung una kong nabasang book, Struggle Always Wins, di ba, ganun. So, nagbasa-basa ako ng book. And then, isa sa mga sobrang important na natutunan ko nun is yung abundance formula.
Uy.
Di ba? Yung
okay,
10, 20, 70.
Okay.
Right? So,
what's
10%.
10, 20, 70?
So, you earn 100%.
Okay.
Whether you earn it through work or business or kapag binabaunan ka lang din. So, may 100 pesos ka.
Okay.
That's 100%. Yung 10% nun is for tithing.
Ano yung tithing? What's tithing?
Tithing is, well, sa atin, in a Christian context, we give it to church. Kasi the church helps spread the word, and also may mga ministries tayo sa feast natin, sa ministry natin, di ba? Ang daming hine-help na people in need, right? So 10% is tithes, 10, 20, 70. 20% you invest to grow that money, and you live on the 70%.
Okay.
Right? So una, sabi ko, paano ko gagawin yun sa 100 pesos kong baon?
Yeah.
Right? So mahirap siya, and honestly, hindi ko siya nagagawa lagi.
Right.
When I was, nag-start ko yun, mga grade 9, ganon. Pero, yung sa 100 pesos ko, gagamitin ko yung 70, tago ko yung 20,
right.
tapos yung 10 piso. Yung kung tutot sa liit eh.
Yes.
Pero in a span of a month, or minsan 2 months, kapag kulang, malaki siya. Diba? And you could start doing it na you could put that 20 pesos every single day. 20 pesos times 10 days is 200. Diba? So, lumalaki siya ng lumalaki. And so, para sa akin, sobrang important nun kasi ngayon, second nature na sa akin eh. Whenever kasi meron akong mga side work, side job, ganun. When I earn that money, automatic sa mata ko, hindi ko na nakikita yung 100% eh. Hindi ko na nakikita siya as a whole. Sa mata ko, nakikita ko na agad yung 70%, ito lang yung pera ko. Ito yung 20%, 10%, hindi sa akin yun.
Yeah, I think tsaka yung to add to what you said, the 10, 20, 70, hindi lang what's important is not necessarily the value right? What's important is at the end of the day, it's the habit of managing your finances, right? Because I agree na like what you said na 100 pesos, you were a student back then, na parang paano ako magsusurvive sa 70 pesos, right? Especially if you're listening to this and you're like a breadwinner of a family, right? Na maybe you're earning minimum wage and ang hirap pagkasyahin yun, right? But what matters is the habit that you at least manage your finances in 3 things. Kasi parang tayo sa atin, pag you have income, that income is equal to expense na kagad. Wala na natitira. What happens is each month, parang you're living paycheck to paycheck. But if you have that habit of 10%, the 10% is really important because number one, it reminds us that what we have, right, is not just what we earn, but it's just a gift, a blessing, or something that at the end of the day now we have people to extend our help with, or help to. Right? And the second thing is investing, saving. Right? Because we always need to save for a rainy weather. Diba? Na parang it doesn't matter if you save 5%, 10%. What's important is you save.
May habit ka.
Na
hindi mo inuubos.
Exactly. The next one is expenses. Right? Na maybe you also need to audit yung expenses mo. Baka kasi mamaya parang, teka, yung isang bagay ko, medyo pwede ko pala ibawasan. Right? And then from there, once you know that, and then you can scale up to earning more. Right? Para mas lumaki yung giving percent mo, mas lumaki yung investing percent mo, then lumiit yung expense
parang
percent mo.
Yung goal no? Kapag sobrang laki mo na kumita, imbis na 10, 20, 70, pwede na siyang maging 199.
Yes.
Live on 1%.
Live on 1%. That's
Give
a goal.
99%.
That's a goal. That's a goal.
Future goal. Yeah, ikaw ba? Managing your finances.
I give all na eh.
Live on 0%.
I can relate to the 99%. But yeah, it's a similar thing. Pero I think what's different sa akin naman, it's I have dun sa 70% mas malawak. So, hindi lang siya basta expense. So, parang meron siyang food, meron siyang for leisure, meron siya for transportation. I try to segregate it.
Fino-folder mo, parang
I try to folder it, yeah. So, if you're familiar with yung KT Harvecker na 7 jars, right? So, merong travel, merong leisure. So, para budgeted siya. Right? Na, even if, for example, kumita ko ng malaki sa isang month, right? Let's say, yung leisure fund ko, umabot ng, let's say, yung 10% na yun is 100,000. Ang laki nun. Parang sabi mo, dapat ata,
magbakasyon ka na 100K.
Pero that's how I see it. Na dapat maubos ko yung 100,000 na yun. It's because if I want to grow, I need to be comfortable in handling big money. Right? Na parang makikisip mo, bakit kaya yung mga mayaman, grabe sila bumili ng kot kayo? Ba't kaya kayo?
Sanayan lang.
Right? But kaya sila bumibili ng mga sports car? Ba't sila bumibili ng 50,000 steak? It's because baka mamaya naka-budget yon sa leisure fund nila. Right? And that's those things are a way of them to level up.
Right?
So, yun.
Yeah. So, in the context of sa atin, nung binabangunan tayo ni Mommy, ganyan, gusto ko na mag-grow. Let's say, yun yung iniisip niya. Ano nga pwede kong gawin? Ano yung mga ginawa mo nun?
Ito this is something na hindi ko pa masyadong, actually parang hindi pa natin napag-usapan na yung take on to. And it's something that I would also say when I was starting.
Alright.
Na, kasi tayo we're taught to invest in the stock market. Right? As early as now. That's what I did. Right? But if there's something that I would, like what is to your question is that rather than investing first, I would like in the stock market or let's say in any investment vehicle, I would start investing in programs, in seminars that would allow me to earn more. Right?
Kasi, so you're investing on your knowledge.
Exactly.
And your
why?
Network.
Kasi why? For example, tayo let's say nakaka-save tayo 1,000 per month.
Okay.
Pag invest ko yung 1,000 per month, yes, the habit is important. Right? Pero it would take me such a long time to achieve, let's say, 1 million pesos. But let's say I invest in 1,000 pesos in a seminar, right? I meet, let's say, 5 people.
Right.
Let's say sa 5 people na yun, isa doon business partner ko. Isa doon potential client ko. Isa doon mentor ko. Isa doon parang accountability body ko. Isa doon parang potential big network. Right? And that 5 people would allow me to earn an extra 5,000 next month. And then yung 5,000 yun, I would invest in another, let's say, program. Tapos yung sa program na yun or papang-enroll ko, classmate ko pala doon would be my next big business partner. And that would allow me to earn another extra 15,000. And then when I reach a certain peak, saka ko siya invest sa stock market. Right? But I'm not saying na you should stop investing in the stock market.
Pwedeng liitan mo siguro.
Yes. What I'm just trying to say na parang you should first focus on expanding your earning potential.
While you're young.
Right. Kasi baka mamaya mas lalo na in a world of social media na invest in the stock market and you would have a Lambo, diba? Invest in, all in ka sa cryptocurrency, sa Bitcoin, magkakaroon ka ng bahay.
Quick rich.
Quick rich. Masyado tayo nasanay sa ganun Right? But if you're really starting, that's my suggestion. Mas lalo na if you don't know what you're doing, right? If hindi ko maalam gagawin mo after college or you don't know what career or what ways you're gonna use it to earn.
Sa kung tutuusin nga, kung titignan mo, actually yung mga seminars na magaganda, underpriced
Yes, exactly.
Kasi di ba? Bawa, kunwari, pag titignan natin, 10,000 pesos ang ticket, ang mahal. Magkano tuition?
Alam niyo ba guys, that ako kasi I invest a lot in, for example, this year, parang my budget is about 250,000 on seminars.
For a whole year.
Well, for a whole year, budget ko investments, seminars and everything. Parang, you would be surprised na ang mga seminars sa United States, parang just to be with like a regular ticket would cost you what? $300, diba? Parang mentorship, $1,000. Dito, you could get mentorships for like what? 10,000 pesos, like what you said.
Mahal na nga yun
Mahal na yun.
Diba?
Right? You would get to network with people for seminars for what? 500 pesos. Diba? Ilang sakripisyo lang ng milk tea yun, ng Starbucks yun. Diba? Dalawang Starbucks.
Isang grab lang yun.
Diba? Isang grab lang yun. So, guys, invest in that kind. Because I want you guys to know that investing, right? The traditional investing, it's not a way for the poor to be rich.
Mm.
Investing is a way for the rich to become wealthy.
Tama.
Yan.
Right. Kumbaga ina-expand pa nila
It's a way to
yung pera
scaling
nila.
up. Oo.
Right.
Baga, you need to really go into the cash flow things muna. Yun.
In terms of sobrang hot issue ng inflation rate.
Uy, yung sibuyas, Brad.
Sibuyas.
No nakaraan, di ba? Parang last year, gas.
Gas.
Gas ngayon, sibuyas.
Ngayon, parang itlog naman daw ngayon.
Oo, feeling ko next. Feeling ko, Brad, next itlog. Kaya itlog, malapit na mag-10 piso. Di ba?
So, for someone na hindi alam,
okay.
ano ba inflation? Narinig lang nila yun And alam lang nila, it affects the price.
Kasi mas lalo na pag mag-i-invest ka, you need to invest because it will beat inflation. Yung sinasabi nila. Right? So basically, inflation is just a way of, you just think about it as increasing in price. So for example, yung 100 pesos mo.
Inflation.
Yung 100 pesos mo, yung mabibili niya ng 100 pesos ngayon, baka next year, kung may 10% inflation ka, 90 pesos na lang yung buying power niya. Para siya isipin niyo siya, guys, as buying power.
Di ba parang si Jollibee? Di ba nagmahal ng Jollibee ngayon?
Dati may 39ers.
Brad. Ngayon,
di ba?
Ano na? 79ers?
79ers na. Di ba? Next time, 99ers na. Bakit yung 20 pesos? Barya na lang. Di ba dati
Coin
papel pa yan? Coin na lang siya. That's what we call inflation. Na yung mataas ang bilihin. Right? Inflation.
So, darating ba siya sa point na babalik siya sa dati? Na parang yung Jollibee magiging 39 lang ulit pinakamura nila?
Right.
Or...
So that's what we call deflation naman. Right? But in what's happening in our economy, deflation is very rare. Right? It just depends on supply and demand and kung may significant na mangyari. But in general, what we always face is inflation and what we call disinflation. Disinflation naman is yung pagbaba ng inflation rate. Right? So, the reason why that's important, it's because, diba ito, Brad?
Okay.
Bakit kaya? Now, we have an inflation rate. Let's say you're, kumikita ka na, let's say, 100,000. Right? Per year.
Okay.
Or per month. Per month na lang.
Oh.
And then, inflation mo is 2%. So,
okay.
Boring naman ito. Guys, hindi to boring. Kung gusto niyo mag-survive sa importante to.
Sobra.
Right? Kung isipin mo, kung 100,000 in-earn mo, and then let's say you have an inflation of 10%. Mataas yan, guys, just for simple math. Right? So, dapat yung sweldo mo for the next year would be 110%. Right? Pero hindi yun yung nangyayari.
Usually, alam ko, nasa 5% ang increase
Hindi, wala pa
salary.
2%, 3%, right? Especially if you're not going up the ranks. Diba? So you need to ask yourself, how can I increase my earning potential nga? Kasi tataas yung bilihin eh. At the end of the day, we need to remind ourselves na ang pagtaas ng presyo are the things that we cannot control. But what we can control are the skills that we have, are the hustles that we pursue, right? Are these things na we have control. So focus on that. Right? Na inflation nga, like what you said, is something na yung pag-increase ng price. And, yun, diba? Wala naman tayo magagawa pag nag-rollback yung pag nag-increase na naman ng gas, pag nag-increase ang itlog.
So, right? In short,
mag-alaga ng manok.
Hindi na gawin mo.
Kasi mahal yung
10 chickens. So basically, walang mangyayari. Talagang pataas yung presyo. Sa buong buhay ko.
History.
Pagdating ko ng 80 years old, baka isang pirasong itlog is 1,000 pesos na.
Pwede.
Hindi namin sasabing yun, may possibility. Dahil ang inflation rate, tuloy-tuloy lang siya. Right?
Yep.
So, ang kailangan dun is, ang tinataasan natin is earning capacity.
Kasi yun talaga, we cannot control. Pero pwede natin makontrol yung magkano yung kikitain natin. Magkano yung igagastos natin per month. Right? Magkano yung save natin so that we can invest more. Yun yung mga bagay na...
Kasi di ba parang sa... kahit outside of money, right? In life, merong, di ba yung intersection ng things in your control.
Yes.
Things out of our control.
Yeah.
And problema is nangyayari is madalas, lagi nating pinoproblema yung things out of our control.
Yun.
Imbis na yung things in our control.
Exactly.
Diba like common example nun na outside money. Common example nun. Nalilate ka lagi.
Yun. Traffic.
Anong sisisihin mo? Yung traffic o yung pag-alis mo?
Yun,
ano yung kontrolado mo? Yung oras ng pag-alis mo. In traffic ba, kontrolado? Hindi. Pero tayong mga tao, di ba, na sanay tayo na ang magalit tayo ng magalit sa things na hindi natin kinokontrol. Hindi natin kayang control.
Yes.
Right.
For example, like to add to what you said, diba? Mag-traffic, magrereklamo ka sa, ano ba to?
Right.
Gobyernong to.
Right.
Ang traffic, dapat daming kotse, dapat ganito, dapat ganyan. I mean, it's important to talk about these things, right? But, isipin mo the impact that would have on your day if you go through that thing, if you keep on focusing on the things that you cannot control.
Right.
Parang lagi ka nang magrereklamo. Right? Ayoko yung mga nagrereklamo na tao. Like, sakit kaya niya sa tenga, di ba?
Normal naman na mainis sa traffic
Normal,
eh.
oh.
Kahit
Pero
naman ako, sino may gusto ng traffic?
if it's everyday, then something's wrong. Di ba? Parang, gumising ka na maaga. O if maaga sa office mo, then do something sa office mo. If maaga sa school, do something productive. Right?
Kasi sa kayo mga ganong kasing types of problems, hindi mo sa-solve yun in 10 years, in 20 years eh. Right? So may mga ganun talaga
yung pagre-reklamo natin, hindi makakambag yun sa solusyon ng mundo. Diba?
Eh kung mag-propose ka na lang ng other way or something,
yeah,
diba?
Exactly.
So, basically, ganun din ang inflation.
Yes.
What you're saying.
Yeah.
Na inflation, price going up is something that is not in our control.
Because you know why inflation is also important. Right? Parang sabi, hindi ba dapat dapat nga hindi magtaas yung bilihin eh. Why is inflation important, guys? Because inflation actually pushes, right, economic activity.
Okay.
Right? Kasi for example, kaya nga sinasabi ng mga tao, right, is you need to invest para matalo mo yung inflation.
Right.
If you have, let's say, a 5% inflation and just sit it on your bank, right, malulugi ka 5% every single year. Right? So why do we need inflation? Like specifically target ng central banks is 2%.
Right.
Why do we need that? Is so that tayo, yung mga may pera sa bangko, aalisin natin siya to look for ways para umikot yung pera natin sa economy. Kasi pag wala tayong inflation, lahat ng pera natin nasa bangko lang. Wala na magnenegosyo.
Hindi gumagalaw.
Oo, magtatrabaho na lang tayo. Right? So the reason why inflation is there, right, the central bank prints money, increases interest rates so that nga mas stimulate yung economy natin into having economic activity.
Right. So siguro isa common na tanong doon is anong basis ng pagtaas nun, ng inflation? Ba't siya tumataas?
Tumataas. For example, that's a good question. Bakit nga tumataas ang inflation? For example, isipin mo, you know yung butterfly effect. Right? Sometimes kasi it's a butterfly effect eh.
Right.
Now, backtrack tayo.
Okay.
No, pandemic.
Okay.
Pandemic nagka-lockdown. Right? Because of may kumain ng bat na tao. Di ba? Nagkaroon ng pandemic, nagka-lockdown. Ano nangyari? Number one, we had to lockdown.
Right.
Anong result ng lockdown in money terms? Nawalan trabaho. Nagkaroon ng significant decline in economic activity. Right? It's to a halt. Right? So, anong nangyari? Walang bumibiling goods, nagkakaubusan nga, di ba? Ng goods minsan. Kasi yung mga deliveries, wala, right? So, the economic activity stopped. What happened in order so that we can recover to this economic activity? What they did sa US naman to is they printed a lot of money. So, parang for example,
so pwede silang ginagawa pa ng bank yun. Nagpiprint lang sila ng pera. Kasi diba, that's not common knowledge.
Pero ba't ako pag nagprint ako ng pera, hindi ko pwede pambayad? We're getting into, okay.
So, ganun siya.
Sige.
So, kapag may nangyayari na crisis, pwedeng mag-print ng pera.
Para itong, I'll give you 2 examples yan, Brad. For example, anak kita.
Okay.
Right? And then, negosyante.
Pwede bang hindi nila example?
For example, Daddy, call me Daddy. So, for example, nasa family tayo, right? Okay. Madami akong business, anak kita, right? Tapos, let's say may tropa ka.
Okay.
May tropa kayo. Sabihin ko na, bibigyan ko yung tig 1,000 pesos. Tropa mo.
Sige,
so, let's say meron kang 10 kaibigan.
So, 10,000 kami.
Oo, 10,000 kayo. Pero sabi ko sa inyo, to, 1,000 pesos. Pero magagamit nyo lang yan sa mga companies ko. Let's say, meron akong gas station. Doon nyo lang pwede gamitin yung 1,000 pesos nyo. Let's say, meron akong
computer shop.
Okay. Doon lang kayo maglaro. Meron akong time zone. Doon lang kayo pwede mag-time zone. So, ganun yung nangyari. Parang, I'm allowing you na to use that 1,000 kasi yung 1,000 na yan, let's say nakasulat lang yan
Okay.
sa 1,000 pesos of Busta Corporation, ganun.
So you're basically giving me free money so that I could use it
Oo.
sa iyo rin
Yes.
para gumana yung
Oo.
Parang kasi 'di ba yung pera yun yung dugo mo eh.
Oo.
Para
For
siya
example, dilat kayo, let's say nagbebenta akong cellphone.
Okay.
Binili niyo yung cellphone ko using yung 1,000 pesos of Busta money. Right? So, tapos ako naman, since nabenta ko lahat ng cellphone ko, pwede ko yun i-pitch sa mga investors. Uy, investors.
Okay.
Meron akong best-selling product.
Okay.
Yun.
Alright.
So, from there, nasi-stimulate yung economy. Ikaw naman, meron kang bagong cellphone, pwede kang magnegosyo. Pwede kayong mag-vlog, magkakaibigan kasi may mga cellphones na kayo. So, that creates value. That creates economic activity.
Okay.
Right? And then the next example that I want to share to you is, alam mo yung Monopoly, Brad?
Yung game.
Yung game.
Right. Kakalaro ko lang yun 3 days ago.
Diba?
Yeah.
Meron doon, if mababasa niya na parang, what happens when the bank runs out of money?
No.
Right? Diba? Meron doon. Kasi diba, limited lang yun. Diba yung mga tas, diba sinusweldohan kayo? Sa start ng game, ito yung mga pera niya.
Right.
What happens if nawala ng pera yung banker? You can just grab a piece of paper, write down yung mga banknotes. Is basically it. Yan siya.
It applies to real life.
Applies to real
Ginagawa
life.
ng feds
Monopoly.
yun.
Yeah. Actually, Monopoly is real life.
Real life eh. Ginawa na talaga siyang board game. So, ang sinasabi mo is, yung mga nangyayaring ganun, right? Inflation, nagka-crisis, sa ganyan, printing money, interest rates, lahat yun, para lang silang umiikot-ikot. Parang gulong lang.
Exactly.
Parang, okay, so may ganitong problema, ito solusyon. Dahil may solusyon na ganito, may mangyayaring ganito. Dahil nangyari to, may problemang ganito. So, paikot-ikot lang sila.
Paikot-ikot lang siya.
Tapos,
season siya. Kumbaga, seasons talaga.
So, parang kung titignan, kaya alam pala siya magulo. Kaya di ba minsan ang gulo intindihin ng financial market, ng finances. Kasi ang dami nangyayari. Diba nangyayari itong inflation na to, nagsara yung ganitong bangko, na ganyan-ganyan.
Yeah.
Pero kung titignan mo pala siya ng malayuan, like bird's eye view, as a whole, they work as one single machine na umiikot-ikot lang.
It's an ecosystem.
Right.
Kaya siya economy.
Right.
Yeah.
So, isa pa siguro common na question. Anong kinalaman natin sa US? Bakit tayo apektado nun? Bakit tayo apektado ng US?
Guys, welcome to Economics 101, no? So, pero maganda yan kasi, Brad, the reason why we want to talk about this is so that we are aware na how do we fit in that picture?
Right.
Diba? Na parang okay, na parang nagtataas ang interest rates, nagtataas ang inflation, so that you could be financially prepared when opportunity comes.
Saka yung mga inflation, mga ganun, apektado ka na rin eh. Intindihin mo na rin.
Mismo, diba? Parang, ikaw na nga yung nalulugi, hindi ba aralin?
Parang yung may palo ka na rin.
Oo.
Diba? Huwag ka na umuwi. Parang gano'n.
Medyo
gano'n.
So, going back, ba't nga tayo affected sa US? Is because the US is the world reserve currency.
Okay.
Right? So, when we go back in time, right? When we go back in time, meron tayong tinatawag na system, which is barter system.
Yun
right?
Yung I give you spices, give me gold.
I give you this.
Alright.
Right? Well, wag nga muna tayo sa gold part.
Okay.
Right? Let's go first na let's say nasa isang village tayo. Ikaw yung crops mo is rice.
Okay.
Ako naman I take good care of chickens. You give me 1 kilo of rice, I give you a chicken.
Okay, or egg.
It's a barter system, right? And then when as we evolve, nagkaroon na ng let's say gold, right? Let's say valuable metals, right? That valuable metals represent a value of exchange. If let's say meron akong 1 coin of gold, I can have 1 kilo of rice. So kasi nag-agree tayo that gold is important.
You're giving that gold power.
Exactly, of exchange.
Okay.
So fast forward now, because of what happened sa World War, because of what happened sa they had the big gold reserves, ang US. What happened is, before kasi, a US dollar is backed by gold. And right now, since the US is one of the top, it's one of the most powerful countries.
Right.
Yung nangyari sa kanila, back in the 70s, is they said na, we won't back we won't back the dollar with gold anymore. Before kasi, if you have a dollar, you can go to the bank and get the gold. Right? Nagkaroon kasi ng time na you can carry gold anywhere. Tas nagkaroon ng time na carrying gold is illegal. So, kailangan mo siya ilagay sa bangko. So, lahat ng gold nasa bank na. So, nagkaroon ng time na sabi ng US na, bawal na yan. And then, ngayon, since basically US yung naging number 1 winner nung World War, right? Sila naging world reserve currency. Meaning that currency is used all around the world. Right? So, the more you have of that specific currency, the more that you can trade, the more you can have power in the world.
Right.
Kaya siya naging reserve currency.
Kaya laging ang basis is sa
US.
money exchange.
Yes.
US dollar.
US dollar. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So parang basically, we just agree, everyone agrees except North Korea or something. Everyone agrees.
Yeah.
Na ang basis natin
because
is
money,
the US dollar.
Guys, money is just an agreement. I can write, for example, bigyan kita ng coupon na I would, alam mo yung IOU? Diba? IOU note. Kasi literal na IOU. Right? Na for example, meron ako negosyo. Meron ako ng 500,000. Itong negosyo na to, magsusulat ako, this represents 5% of my company.
Right.
Right? That's how it is.
Okay. So, nalaman natin to. It's probably hard to grasp all. Right? So, you should do your own research. Kasi hindi naman tayo experts again. Nagigets lang natin siya because of other people teaching din. Parang ganun. Kanina lang may tinuro ka sa akin. Ganun pala yun. Ano ngayon? Para saan yun? Ba't ko kailangan intindihin yun?
Right. So, the reason why you need to understand that is because like what I said earlier, the world is round. It goes round and round.
It's flat, bro.
Let's not go there, bro. You know that the earth is flat. But anyway, guys, hindi kami flat earth. Akala nyo, conspiracy. Hindi. So, it's round. It's a cycle, right? Life has cycles. Right? And the more you know, the more you don't know. The more you know, the more that you're aware of these things happening, and you can have opportunities. Now that for example, inflation is high, interest is going up, then most probably we could see the stock market crash. And if the stock market crash, we can invest. Right? If the crypto market crash, we can buy more at lower prices.
Right.
If you have that capability, for example, to buy a real estate, and then if the market crashes, you can be prepared. At least you know right now na you're not investing blindly. Kasi I don't know why. Right? Rant incoming na quote unquote mga financial advisors, right? So if madami kayo nanonood dyan, so right? Kasi sometimes kasi parang buy ka lang ng buy, right? I mean, it's okay, but sometimes kasi cash is king, and we need to understand when cash is king. And right now, cash is king. Kasi nga hindi nagpe-print ng pera. Right? So if hindi nagpe-print ng pera, the cash that you have is more valuable than, let's say, a crypto, then more valuable than a share. Right? So again, may kanya-kanya tayong financial objectives, financial goals.
Right.
But this is a season where interests are high, right? Inflation is high, right? Cash is king.
Right.
So, by the time na nagkaroon ulit ng time na nagpiprint ulit ng pera, that's a time where we invest. Mababa yung interest rates, that's a time where we invest ulit.
Okay. So, kaya natin pinag-uusapan to is because we believe in something that's really important, which is, as a man, we need to learn money. Handling money, expanding money. Diba? And bakit? Does God want you to do that?
You know, like yun nga, diba? Cycles, diba? I mentioned cycles, and then I mentioned seasons.
Right.
Right? And in each season, there's a certain thing that we need to do. And God wants us to be responsible on what we do. Diba? Na parang, for example, it's winter.
Right.
Hindi ka na magtatanim sa winter. Right? Pag summer, anong gagawin? Or pag, let's say, pag spring, hindi ka naman magsisave pag spring. You need to plant. You need to work.
Right.
Right? And winter, for example, right now, it's kind of winter. Right? We need to save. We need to be cautious. Right? So, as a man, we need to be aware of these things, because at the end of the day, we have that sole responsibility to provide to our families. And then with these things na parang, yun pala yung nangyayari sa money. So at least you could be more responsible on how you manage your finances. Na for example, ngayon, teka, baka meron akong goal na gusto ko bumili ng relo. Meron akong goal na bumili ng sports car. Pero baka hindi ngayon yung time. Baka this is the time that I need to save, and then so that I could buy more during the crash, so that I could accumulate more.
Right.
Diba? So ikaw ba, ano bang thoughts mo on understand? Kasi ako, I graduate economics eh. So this is something that I'm studying. Pero ikaw ba, like
marketing
as a marketing student, as a business student na who's entering the adult life, how do you see this knowledge give you an edge in life, in your financial life?
Right. So sa akin, gagamit na rin ako ng pera. And ang galing isipin, na nakakatakot isipin, na maraming tao, well actually lahat ng tao, gumagamit ng pera, pero hindi nila naintindihan kung paano ginagamit yun, kung para saan yun, saan galing yun, paano umiikot yun. Right? So sa akin, it gave me a better perspective of the whole world. Ngayon, kapag may nangyayaring crisis, mas nagigets ko na kung anong pwedeng mangyari. Well, hindi ko naman kaya i-predict, diba? Pero in terms of what I know,
possibilities.
From learning from history repeats itself.
Yes.
Nagigets ko na, ito yung nabasa ko. Ito yung sinabi ni Pael na naalala ko. Ito yung sinabi ng friend ko na, kaya pala nangyayari yun. Right? And so for me, gusto ko na sa future family ko, kasi ako, wala pa naman akong family, right? Pag dumating yung point na may family ako, if may mangyaring crisis, alam ko.
Na. Exactly. Parang, for example, pag naaamoy mo na bukas yung gas, hindi ka magsisindi ng lighter. Papatayin mo muna.
Buksan mo yung bintana.
Bubuksan mo yung bintana.
Right.
Mga ganung bagay.
Saka, ayun nga, sa akin kasi nga na important siyang matutunan ng hindi mo kasi siya, natin sa school. Pero hindi siya natuturo.
Yeah. Keep it up, school. Keep it up. Do better. Guys, do better. Come on.
Or if ever maturo man siya, hindi nga tinuturo yung
practicality.
Why. Saka yung paano talaga siya gumagalaw, diba? And so, sa akin, it really helps me understand the world also. And helps me become a better man of God and a better father in the future.
Yeah.
Diba? And a better provider in the future.
And kasi the reason why it's also important na in a grand scheme of things na you need to ask yourself, so how do I fit that? Now that we know that this is money, right? Baka maybe some of you here would be the next chairman ng Bangko Sentral. 'Di ba? Baka kayo yung maging next presidente na you would alam mo yun, you would look for a way that the banking system can cater to helping more people rather than just big corporations, 'di ba?
Kasi nga parang nakwento mo sa akin kanina like before the podcast, 'di ba, na nakikita mo yung dalawang view eh. Nakikita mo yung view na mga Pilipinong hirap na hirap.
Yeah.
Tapos nakikita mo yung view ng mga gumagalaw ng market.
Yung mga nagbe-benefit.
Right?
Yung mga elites. Sabi natin. Yeah.
Sorry, on behalf of the elites.
Yeah, so extend my my rants to your colleagues.
Hindi, pero yun nga na sa akin siguro, in terms of yung pinaka-main reason kung bakit sobrang gusto kong matuto about money and how to grow it.
Yeah.
Mas meron akong big why.
Yeah.
Sa akin. Which is, gusto ko talaga ibigay yung buhay ko sa ministry.
Okay.
Sa church. Gusto ko, pagtanda ko,
yeah.
I want to die serving. Tipong kumakanta ako.
That's diretsong eulogy na. So, this is what don't worry guys, don't panic. This is what Nico wanted.
Kasi may come on, give praise to Jesus. Hallelujah.
He died the way he wanted, guys. Let's give God a bit.
So, check pa yung pulso na. Yep, he's dead. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah.
Wait. Oh man, he just fell asleep.
Pero basically yun. And sa akin, I can't fully give 100% of myself to the ministry if kailangan kong hands-on sa pagkita ng pera.
Yeah.
So my dream is to really live off 100% passive income. 'Di ba? And paano ko magagawa 'yun? Well,
invest ka sa akin.
Paano ko magagawa 'yun? Well, yun nga, learn about it, 'di ba? If hindi ko siya naintindihan, paano ko siya mag-grow?
Exactly.
'Di ba? If hindi ka marunong magtanim, paano ka paano ka mangangarap ng
Paano
puno?
ka mag-share ng
Oo.
mga fruits
Paano
mo?
mo i-share yung fruit ng puno if yung pang mismong tanim lang di mo alam?
Exactly.
Parang ganun. So right now, di ba, lalo na really young, yun ang talagang very passionate ako to learn. And to give also, siyempre, to number one, provide for my family because God is a provider and we're made in His image. So I want to provide also to my family, but not just that, to support ministries that help people. Mga ganun. Ikaw ba?
You know, when we understand money is just basically value, right? It's something that you have so that you could, number one, either buy value,
right?
Diba?
Right.
And if you want money, kasi we cannot create money. The only people who can create this are the people who prints the money, which is the central bank, right? We can only transfer money. We can only get money.
Right.
We cannot create it. So how do you get money? Is you give value, right? And like what you said, na we're created by God.
Right.
And at the end of the day, we have skills, we have talents given by God. Now, through those talents and skills, we can create value.
Right.
And from that value, susunod na lang yung pera.
Right.
Na parang we don't focus on having, parang for example, like si NBA player, right?
Okay.
Let's say si Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan didn't focus on the numbers on the rings. Right? He focused on attending practice,
the game,
winning the game, teamwork, making plays, right? It's only a result yung championship rings of the process. And the same thing with money. The money that you have, the money that is in your bank account, it's a reflection of the value that you give in society.
Right.
Right? So, like what you said, na you want to provide, it's the same thing. The reason why, my why, is basically, I want to be rich. So, it's really helping people as well. Na parang there's, eto nga sinasabi nila, if greed wasn't an option, if greed is not existing, there would be no hungry people.
Tama.
Right? Na parang it's the reason why I do this, it's the same thing. Parang I want to know my potential in my financial aspect and how much, ano yung pwede ko ma-create out of it. Is it whether it's providing for my family, helping people, supporting the ministry. And it's something na what you said. It's true na maganda yung reverse tithing. Right? Na ngayon, you start off giving 10% and then 20%, 30%, and at the end of your, at the end of the life, na parang nasa bangko na lang. Parang, ito na yung pang 90%. Na parang you just live off 10%. Or you just live off 5% of what? Kasi you can only live so low. Diba? Sabi nga nila, na a billionaire, kami,
oh, right.
Yeah, tayo pala.
Right.
Tayo.
No, trillions, bro.
Like, a millionaire and a billionaire can buy the same things. Right? Na, and there comes in your life na pag dumating ka sa certain peak, right? Na you can buy the same thing with a billionaire.
Right.
You can experience life the same as a billionaire.
Right.
And that after na, ano na?
Oh,
right? So,
anong gagawin mo?
Share, diba? And as early, if we want to share, as early as now, we start na.
Right.
Diba?
Kasi, ang giving and sharing is also habit.
Oh, yes, exactly.
Diba? Kasi usually na-stuck tayo sa pag milyonaryo na ako, sa ako magbibigay.
No. Yeah.
Pero hindi eh. Hindi siya ganun eh, diba?
Kasi parang kung isipin mo, kung millionaire ka, tapos you give 10%, that's 100,000. Parang isipin mo, uy, teka, makapagbakasyon na ako sa dito. Lord, pwede bang 50K na lang para yung 50K ma-enjoy ko? Right? So, it's really a way of, stretching your heart and really
parang,
being a
kung
better
ngayon pa
person.
lang, yung 1,000 mo, hindi mo mabigay. What do you expect kaya mo magbigay ng 1 million sa future?
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So, yun, money. Right? So, I think, like what we talked about inflation. Dami pa yan. Diba? We talked about money. You need also to ask yourself, as a guy, how can I fit in this picture? Right? Parang anong skills pwede ko i-build?
Tama.
And then, how can I help society?
Right.
Kasi parang it shouldn't just stop on, who can I be, what career that I should pursue. Kasi, mamaya, maganda nga yung career mo, pero wala namang purpose. Sayang din. Right?
Right.
Pero it's a good problem.
Saka, handling your finances, whether if it's right now, it's small, or it's big now, is a way of honoring God. Kasi he provided that money for you. He gave you that the
yes.
skills to earn that money, that he gave
Ka
you
would
the
be proud.
opportunities.
Yeah.
Diba? Huwag mo sayangin. Right?
I mean, the fact nga, nanonood sila ngayon. Diba? May cellphone. Tapos, come on guys. We can do better. Right? It was a pursuit of betterment.
If meron kang one action step.
Okay.
For the people who are watching.
I'm gonna subscribe, bro, to isang
and send to our Patreon.
I'm gonna
make our dreams come true.
Yeah, I think it's for example, if you don't know what you want yet, explore. Right? Maybe sell. Ako, Brad, when I started, before I started into the markets, nag-social media ako, networking.
Right.
Ganyan, power, diba? Lahat, trinay ko, then na-realize ko, okay pala ako dito. And then if you already know what you want, build your network. Na parang, if you want to focus on, let's say, the music side, the music industry, then get to know some network there.
Find your niche.
Find your niche, yeah. And build the network around that.
Niche, yun yung anak nung kapatid mo. Your niche and your nephew.
Sige na, ikaw.
Action step. Kapag meron kang hindi na gets sa pinag-usapan namin, research about it.
Yeah, ask. Or ask sa comments. We will reply.
Siguro, yun nga, na parang, don't stop with the question mark. Diba? So, if you have more, for sure. Kasi hindi kaya ng 45 minutes yun. Or kung ilang minutes na ba tayo.
Alam mo, ang ganda ng sinabi mo na don't stop with a question mark. Because since we're talking about being a man of God, we often stop in the question mark. Right? Kasi in life, maganda na, it's not, di ba sabi nga nila, the world belongs to the askers. Di ba? And because sometimes, parang is God true? Diba? Parang, so may doubt ka na. Anong gagawin mo sa doubt na yun?
Right.
Do you pursue that or not? Right? It's the same thing that we talked about here na, guys, don't just let this be another self-help or motivational video.
Kalimutan na bukas.
Like, pursue that curiosity.
Right.
Na parang if you have questions, wala na mga life questions na yan, maybe that's God telling you to yan yung katok ni Lord sa buhay mo, diba?
Saka diba, parang kung titignan mo, kung tutuusin mo, lahat na nakikita mong idol mo, lahat yun nagsimula lang sa tanong nila.
Oh, yeah.
Diba? Na parang, siguro si Steve Jobs, parang unang yung tanong, paano kaya gagawin yung computer na portable siya?
Paano kaya pagkakasyahin yung 1,000 songs sa pocket?
Diba? So, lahat ng nakikita nating idol natin, nag-start lang din sila with a question.
A question, yeah.
Pero ang difference is hindi sila nag-stop sa question.
Yeah, I mean, like, even if it's simple na, how do I make 1 million pesos? Diba?
Okay,
ba lang
babaan pa natin. If hindi ka para kumikita ng 10,000, if you're a student, how do I make 10,000 pesos?
Exactly.
Diba? If binabaunan pa lang ako ngayon, how do I make 10,000 pesos? Right? Yung mga ganun.
So how much do you think? How much do you think?
I think for 10 billion.
10 billion. Okay na. Sige. Ayaw ko yung tanong ko, pero
how much do you think?
Wala.
Expensive. You don't ask, you can't afford, bro.
Hindi kasi I was about you mentioned na yung students nga Ano ba yung mo? If you were to start side hustle now, ano yun?
Well, ako.
Kahit hindi student kasi parang side hustle can be for like money doesn't care about your age. Right? The market doesn't care how old you are.
Right.
How do you feel about it? So, let's talk about it. How do you ano yung tingin mong if you're not doing any side hustle right now, what are you gonna do?
Isa sa mga best advice na lagi ko naririnig sa mga mentors is use what's in front of you. Diba? So, may phone ka? Find a way to earn using your phone. Diba? Ang dami ng ways. Sa akin, currently, I'm working as a social media handler and designer, right? Started with one and then dumami, ganon. And so I started earning from that. 'Di ba? And ang daming different things. Kahapon nga nanonood lang ako ng vlog na gumagawa siya ng peanut butter sa bahay. Tapos nagbebenta siya ng 20 bottles a day.
Wow.
50% profit.
Galing.
Peanut butter,
Solid,
Brad.
oh.
Ang puro niya lang, blender. Tapos butter, gano'n. Diba? So,
Peanut.
Wala naman butter lang. Peanut butter. So, yeah. And siguro, also, is the best thing to do nga rin is ask people na if you want to earn this amount or you want to start earning as a student, magtanong ka na, for sure may kilala ka. Whether naging kaklase mo lang siya ng grade 2, nakalimutan mo na. For sure mayroon kang kilala kahit isang tao na is almost in the same position as you but is earning. Diba? So siguro best yun is tanong mo siya, paano mo ginagawa mo?
Yeah.
Paano mo ginawa yun? Right? Kasi parang naalala ko noon, before I started doing the social media, tinanong din kita noon eh.
Yeah.
Diba na, anong ginagawa mo? Sabi mo, humihiga lang. Sabi mo, diba, like, sa social media, ano ka nun, diba?
It's true, bro. Humihiga lang.
Kasi, well, yung ganun naman, yung side hustles naman natin, we don't really do it to have wealth agad eh.
Yeah.
It's to, parang sinasabi mo, diba, pag may seminar kang gusto, huwag mo nang hingin kay mami yun. Diba? Lalo na kung sobrang laki nung halaga na yun. Kasi pinapag-tuition ka na eh, binubuhay ka na eh. If you earn it, diba? And then maybe use it to earn more or to gain knowledge, you know, expand your network, parang sinabi mo. Yeah.
Ako, if for example, right now, if wala ka pang, if you don't have capital, like zero pesos, start with sales. Sell something.
Oh.
Right? Sales.
For sure.
Sell something.
Hanap
ka sa bahay mo.
Makahanap ka na 10 bagay sa bahay nyo na hindi nyo kailangan.
Libro. Or lumang gadget. Right? Sell something.
Naalala mo yung DLSU marketplace ba yun?
Yeah.
Bids to pick.
Yung bids to pick, yeah.
Right?
Diba, nauso yun?
Nagbenta rin ako ng mga sapatos. Minsan tataka na lang si daddy, saan yung gamit natin?
Ano kasi yung pangluto natin?
Binenta ko na. Anak, saan yung kotse? No, pero yeah, tama.
Yeah,
tama.
Sell something. Ako, I started selling, dami naming spare gadgets noon. I started selling
iPhone 7, alala ko.
I started selling gadgets. And then, if you don't, sali kang networking. Magpa-recruit kayo, guys. Kahit ayaw nyo yung product na yun, or kahit magpa-invite lang kayo sa dinner, yung kumaga yung invitational ano nila, because at least you would get to know their mindset, why they're doing this. Right? At least, and know what you don't want to do.
Alam mo, nilalala lang ako. Pabalik sa akin na kwento mo. Meron akong classmate nung grade 3 ako. Nung grade 3 ako, or basta elementary, lumabas yung movie na Transformers. So, sobrang lahat ng bata idol si Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
Tapos, one time, pumunta siya ng school, yung pencil, anong tawag doon? Pencil case niya, may sticker ni Optimus Prime.
Oh.
So, lahat kami, wow, ganda, gusto ko rin maglagay sa bag ko yan. Anong ginawa niya? Nilabas niya yung isang sheet na puro sticker Transformers. Yeah. Binenta niya ng tigpa 5 pesos sa amin. Tapos, binilang ko yun ng bata ko. Ilang kaya itong stickers na to? Tapos parang sa 50 pieces yung stickers. Sisipin mo, 5 times 50. 250 pesos.
Laki nun, pag bata ka.
Tapos nakita ni mami. Pag uwi ko, nakita niya, meron akong sticker sa notebook ko. Saan mo nakuha yung sticker na? Hindi naman binili. Binili ko sa friend ko 5 pesos. Mahal naman. Alam mo kung magkano lang yan?
Yeah.
Sabi, magkano? Next time, pag umalis tayo, habili tayo sa mga tiyangge ng mga stickers. Yun lang talaga sa pantiyangge. Yeah. Salaman lamang ko. Yung 50 pieces na yon ng sticker is only 60 pesos. Tapos kumita siya, naging 250.
Big brain.
Bro, grade 3 ako noon.
So, yun yung next thing na sasabihin ko, guys. Look for a problem. Na parang, kasi yun, parang uy, lahat to, ganyan, parang nakita yung opportunity. But a more sustainable to that is, ano kayang problema ng hinaharap ng mga to? Right? Na for example, if meron akong friend dati, graduation namin nun, nasa labas kami, nasa court, syempre court ang init. Right? So merong problem, mainit. Syempre school, bawal soft drinks.
Right.
Diba? Anong masarap inumin pag mainit? Soft drinks. Wala sa school. Diba? So ang ginawa niya, dala siyang cooler, benta siyang soft drinks. Diba? Yun yung problema na ang init, ayaw namin maglakad ng malayo kasi mainit. So nagbenta siya soft drinks.
Right.
Diba? So look for a problem, Di ba? While you're
Right.
pursuing yung mga no capital na
Kasi
things.
hindi naman kailangan magmadali ka na
Yeah.
kikita ka agad ng 1 billion doon.
Yung, kumbaga yung ano talaga doon is yung habit forming, yung creativity na na-form mo, yung mindset mo.
Starting
Yung
lang
important
talaga.
guys, yung mindset din.
Right.
Yung minsan. Ayun, nagpasa pala.
So, natin conclude.
So, for the next topic,
Hindi
ang dami
natapos.
pala, no?
So,
yeah, yun yung money. Diba?
Mm-mm.
We can still talk about things about
Right.
money, and we want to know your thoughts kung ano yung gusto niyo papag-usapan namin.
Right. Please
Right? So,
suggest to
please
us.
suggest.
Dapat pala mag-poll tayo. No?
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yun. Thank
So,
you.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, see you next week.
Episode 2.
Episode 2 for our episode 3.
Right.
So if you want any topic na gusto nila, comment nyo lang.
Okay.
So thank you guys, and ingat kayo.
God bless.